What is going on, NFC West Roundtable family? Dan Mitchell back once again. Yesterday, we unpacked free agents I think each and every single team in the NFC West should target. And today, it's time for a mock draft, right? What prospects should the Arizona Cardinals, San Francisco 49ers, LA Rams, and Seattle Seahawks be targeting in the upcoming draft? Now, fun fact, I was present during the Reese's Senior Bowl in Mobile, Alabama a couple of weeks ago. So I'm really hoping that by the way that this first round falls to us with this PFF mock draft simulator, I will be able to give you a lot of insight based off of your needs and also based off of the fits I'm sure you are looking to add to your favorite team. Now, folks, this episode is powered by BetUS. BetUS is hands down the number one sports book on the face of the planet for everything and anything sports betting. And take a gander at this, folks. They have all of the pending free agent lines on the BetUS Sportsbook already, as long as draft lines, as well as draft lines. If you're interested, might as well take advantage of this awesome promo they have going on over there, matching 150% of your first deposit all the way up to $2,000, and also 125% of your second and your third deposit. Don't miss out on this promo. But here we go, folks. Like I promised, a one-round mock draft for the NFC West. Now, a lot of this could change because the combine is next week, as we know, and free agency happens prior to the NFL draft. So, for all I know, based off of some of the Seahawks, Niners, LA Rams, and Arizona Cardinals needs could be addressed during free agency. But don't worry, I promise we will be doing several of these as the season goes along. Anyway, let's go on ahead and just mock it. I am not going to do any trades on this first round. This is all how the board falls, but stay tuned. Maybe we'll go on ahead and we will release a fully trade mock draft with all of your favorite hosts on the NFC West Roundtable as well. As we start the drafts immediately, the San Francisco 49ers with pick 11. According to PFF, guard, tight tackle, excuse me. I don't know why I said tight end. And then defensive line. Now, a couple of players that stand out to me right now. Will Campbell has dropped a little bit out of LSU. He could potentially be a fit. If you remember, I did say that the San Francisco 49ers needed to attach defense or attack defense during free agency, but it's very important to go on ahead and address the trenches, especially if you do decide to pay Brock Purdy a significant contract moving forward. Will Campbell, tackle out of LSU, 69.7 run block, great pass block grade, zone, and then also gap, solid career over at LSU. Moving down, let me see if there's anything else that stands out to me right here. I feel like everything else would be a reach. If Javarius Ward does potentially leave, which he's already suggested that he would, Will Johnson, best corner out of the draft, could also be a sleeper pick. And then Kenneth Grant, your defensive line, a solid one tech that I think would make a massive improvement to whatever team. But I think I'm going to go outside of the status quo here. I'm going to pass on Will Campbell, and I am going to find a Javarius Ward replacement, and I am going to bring you guys Will Johnson. As I've said before, in my opinion, the best corner in the draft. Now, obviously, the 2022 season was his best season. He was hurt in 2024, but all of the intangibles are still there. Give me Will Johnson to the San Francisco 49ers for a Javarius Ward replacement. I promise you he is going to be generational. Nobody should be upset about this. Now we have the Arizona Cardinals. And let me tell you what, all right? We mentioned this last episode during the free agent targets. Biggest need for this damn team is to address their pass rush. They need a player that could actually wreak havoc on opposing teams' quarterbacks. Give them a pass rush. And almost immediately, we see two very huge pieces, highly touted pieces. James Pierce Jr., edge rusher out of Tennessee. Let's take a look here. He had 8 sacks last year in 2024, 13 in 2023. So a slight downgrade, but as far as his PFF grades, they are right there. So James Pierce could certainly be an option, or we can go with Walter Nolan. This dude, 6'3", 305 pounds, 3 tech, 5 tech, 1 tech. He's so versatile. Run defense at 91.6. His pass rush is at 75. 6 sacks in 24 and 7 sacks in 2023. Now, I think building a defensive line, you have to have somebody that can get to the quarterback. Start with an edge rusher and then start worrying about that interior. So, in my opinion, although that Josh Simmons from Ohio State also looks pretty intriguing, but I think that with Kyler Murray's overall mobility, I think that we could wait to look for a tackle in the second or the third round at this point. So give me, with that being said, an edge rusher, finally somebody that could potentially get you 10 plus sacks in 2025. James Pierce Jr., welcome to the Arizona Cardinals. Seattle Seahawks. Man, man, man. All right. This team is having some struggles when it comes in to, first off, their secondary. Cap space is also an issue over there. So draft, they have to hit. Center, guard, edge, and a linebacker are the top needs for this team. So let's take a look. Have a couple of tackles here with Josh Simmons and Kelvin Banks, but that's really not much of a necessity here. We could throw a curveball and go with Marvin Harrison's teammate here, although that makes absolutely zero sense because we're no longer on the Arizona Cardinals. We could add a wide receiver since Tyler Lockett is more than likely going to be gone, and there's rumors about DK Metcalf being on the trade block. I'm not saying that it's happening, but here we are. This could potentially be an option for the Seattle Seahawks if you're really trying to hammer down on offense here. But let's go on ahead and take a look down. I'm looking at this like you have Williams out of Georgia. He could potentially be somebody you might want to take a look at. 5, 6 sacks, excuse me. I'll tell you what. While I know that this offensive line is very important for this team, I'm not seeing anybody that is worth a reach at either of those positions. We could potentially go with Shamar Stewart or Mykel Williams at the edge position. And I know that McDonald is certainly a massive he's a massive defensive guy, but you know what? I don't know why. I think that you're going to need some replacement on the wide receiver side of things. So I'm going to have to go with Emeka Egbuka, wide receiver from Ohio State, Seattle Seahawks. I already know that Seahawks fans are cooking me with that pick right now, but hey, listen, I wanted to go with best player available and not have to reach for a position of need. And honestly, I was not a fan of those two edge rushers that early on. All right, let's take a look. We have the LA Rams, and they need a tight end, a tackle, a linebacker, and a corner. Let's take a look real fast. Let's take a look and see what we have. First glance, you have Armand Membu from Missouri. Okay. Incredible pass blocker, great run blocker, zone grade on top of that. And if you remember, Rams fans, I did have you guys going after Trey Smith, right guard. All right. Because there's so many question marks of whether or not that Matthew Stafford is going to be back, right? If you can't get a contract for him, you're going to be welcoming in a new quarterback, whether or not that you're elevating Jimmy G or whether or not that you're bringing in Aaron Rodgers. I don't know, but I think that it would probably be in your best interest to go after an offensive lineman, right? Get a tackle this time. Like we go on ahead and we take a look, right? Right tackle. Imagine if you guys were able to go on ahead and pair Trey Smith as the right guard in your free agency acquisition, and then you add Armand Membu out of Missouri. 6'3", 314 pounds as a right tackle. We could also take a look at Gray Zabel as well. When we take a look, he's 6'6", 305 pounds. You go down there, and then he's versatile right here, folks. Left tackle and right tackle position. Incredible pass blocking grade. Solid run blocking grade as well. I'll tell you what, that North Dakota State comes out with offensive linemen. Oh, man. I am battling back and forth, but I don't think that people are going to be upset with this, especially those of you that watch Jake, because I think Jake would like this pick. Give me Gray Zabel out of North Dakota State, left tackle and right tackle. He is super versatile. Get that line, baby. Get that line going into it. So there you have it, folks. There is my first round draft prospect for each and every single team. Like I said, this is very premature. We don't know what this is going to look like um, once free agency is over, or whether or not that some like players on this draft lay an egg during the combine. Who knows? But as a quick summary, Will Johnson, starting corner for the San Francisco 49ers, a replacement for Mr. Charvarius Ward. Pretty solid, if you were to ask me. Then you go over to the Arizona Cardinals, where they finally end up getting their pass rusher, their edge master, James Pierce Jr. Then the Seattle Seahawks end up replacing Tyler Lockett and or DK Metcalf, whoever comes. Sick wide receiver duo right there, trio even, with Emeka Egbuka. And then scrolling on down with our good friends, the LA Rams, going with a versatile tackle out of North Dakota State. Hopefully, you're able to address the guard position as well with Gray Zabel. Folks, do me a favor, sound off in the comments and let me know what prospect you hope that your favorite team will be targeting during the 2025 NFL draft. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't had an opportunity of doing so already, and turn on that bell notification so you never miss an episode. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you